Move on to some company news now. Despite a tough operating environment, food producer RCL was able to increase its revenue and declare a dividend. Reporting on its results for the year ending in June, the company says that it is aware of the significant pressures on South Africans and tries to limit price increases as far as possible. But with the current direction that the inflation trajectory has taken, how sustainable will this be? Well, we've got the RCL Foods CEO Cruickshank, who joins me now to discuss this further. Thank you very much for your time this evening, Paul. And before we get into details around consumers and inflation, let's talk about the solid revenue growth that you saw in this reporting period and really just some of the biggest drivers for the results here.
Thanks very much, and thanks for having me on your show.
Are you confident that whatever strategy you've put in place for the end user will be a sustainable one for as far as you can take it, really?
Yeah, so look, our margins have been under pressure, like everybody else. These price increases that have been coming at us are not possible to recover all of it, and we accept that. So for us, it's about a mitigation strategy, trying to balance off volume and the price increases that you take to the consumer. We remain very concerned about the consumer being under pressure. So it's finding that fine line and that balance to try and do what's needed for the business, but look forward and take a longer term view for what's required for our brands.
Mm-hmm. What business units were you particularly impressed with in terms of their performance, Paul? I know sugar always or most of the time will do really well for a business. That did well, but what are some of the other business units that you thought came through strongly for RCL?
So the driver of the results have been mainly from Rainbow's return to profitability and Vector. Both businesses have been under pressure in the last few years. So we've seen a nice turnaround there, but neither of them have arrived yet, and there's still some work to be done. I think what we've also seen is from our groceries business, which is the heart of our brands, a very resilient performance under the current circumstances, with both revenue and profitability improving. And that's offset by what we've seen in other parts of our business. Baking, for example, which is largely bread, has seen a contraction in margin with the wheat prices that have come at us largely post the war in Ukraine.
Right. Let's speak about alternative food products in terms of non-meat-based products. Is this something that RCL is getting into, given that it's a growing market despite the naming issues that have come over the last few weeks? Is this a market you think could bring in value for RCL?
Yes, so we entered into a joint venture with the Live Kindly Collective internationally in May last year, and this is a long-term play for us. We see this as a category which over the medium to longer term, so let me say between 4 and 10 years, will become a significant opportunity and growth category for consumers. So we've taken a long-term view here. We entered the market last year, and whilst it's slow currently, and affordability being a key issue that needs to be resolved in these products, we're taking a long-term view of this and see it as a category for the future.
Right. Now, it has been indicated by Rainbow Chicken that there are concerns around Minister Ibrahim Patel's decision on the import tariffs that he recently made. And I just want you to share those concerns with us and really what the solution, even if it's a medium-term solution, should be in this regard.
Yeah, so our concerns stem from the poultry master plan, which had a number of commitments on multiple fronts. Our commitment from an industry perspective, and we have invested in KwaZulu-Natal in particular in doubling our shift in Hammersdale, and this comes with investment in the supply chain with contract growers required to put additional chicken down. So that's all in play, and that will come on stream over the next 12 months. So we were a little bit surprised and, to be honest, disappointed with the news that the anti-dumping duties would not be extended for a period of between now and the next 12 months. And we're hopeful that the minister will do it sooner rather than later. The industry does need protection from dumping. It is an anti-dumping duty. And that's something which we are hopeful is resolved in the next period. But for now, we need to control what we can control from our chicken production perspective. And we're looking for efficiencies in our supply chain in the interim until this matter is resolved.
Thank you very much, Paul, for your time this evening. That's RCL Foods CEO Paul Cruickshank joining us this evening to speak about the results that they released today. A solid set, but there are some pressures that are faced both by the consumer as well as the company. But they're saying that the strategy that they've put in place is really putting it in a position to operate resiliently in the current market.